Hey everybody, I know it's been like an absolutely insane amount of time because life has been crazy. I had finals and then Christmas time, which I'm amazed that anyone can ever vlog during Christmas time, especially when they're always away from their like equipment. Or, I mean, I'm sure they take like a certain amount with them, but like vlogging around your family is a whole different thing than vlogging alone in your office. So, this is gonna be basically a big catch-up video. I have been doing a lot of different things with writing. I have this project that I'm finally finishing up, and I had to edit a bunch of writing for grad school apps, and I finally sat down last Friday to write some stuff just on my own for fun that didn't have to do for any, like I didn't have to do for anything, or it was just for fun, and it was one of the best things I've ever done. Right now it's titled Valium. It's just a short story. It's kind of weird. A little V for Vendetta expired. Just gonna stop talking. A little V for Vendetta inspired, and it's kind of cray-cray, but it's still real short. I'm really happy to be writing again. I've also continued writing on my second book, and kind of just not looked at my first book. Don't know how bad that is of me, but whatever. I also thought I would do a bit of a catch-up on some books that I've read, and I may do further reviews of them either on blog form or in vlog form, but yeah, here goes. Okay, so the first book that I've read, I believe, since my last vlog, although I'm not entirely sure, is on Letters in Life on Being a Writer, on Being a Christian by Brett Lott. I just thought this was going to be a really interesting book because it's from a Christian literary professor's point of view, which is like a really rare thing to find. I really liked it. It discussed the idea of Christian fiction versus literature, and essentially it pointed something out that I thought was quite true, that Christian fiction tends to be trying to get people to convert to Christianity, and yet it's aimed at Christians. It's very weird, doesn't make sense. That's the market. He talked about what it actually is to write as a Christian, basically writing as if you're writing for God. That doesn't mean don't ever use curse words because you have to be true to your characters. That just means put your all in it. And then he tells, you know, basically his CV, a bunch of stuff about his life. The last bit of it's a really interesting essay about his dad, and I just really encourage you to read it. It's quite good. If you want to be a writer, there's a lot of just general writing info in here. If you are a Christian writer, definitely read it. It's quite good. The second book that I read, I'd gotten in the mail and I was really excited about it, but I actually needed to finish that book, so I had to put this off for like a week, and then I kept putting it off more and more because I just like wasn't in the mood. You know how that goes? Then I finally read it over Christmas break, and that is The Game of Lies, which is the last in the Mortality Doctrine series, which is this stuff. The Eye of Minds is the first one, and it hooked me a lot, and then the Rule of Thoughts was like also freaking amazing, and it hooked me, and so I pre-ordered this book, but frankly it was a little disappointing. It could have been half the length it was. Felt like James Dashner got tired of the series and just wanted to finish it. In the end, it finished well, but it took its dear time to get there, and it was really hard to push through. So in a way I really liked it. I loved this series, just didn't really love a lot of this book, so I'd probably give it a 3. I think I gave it a 3 on Goodreads, but these got like a 4, so it's up to you whether or not you want to start it. The next book I read is The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway, the famed author and the famed book of the lost generation in Paris in the 1920s who were all artists, blah blah blah. They were alcoholics and unhappy and cheaters. That was their life. And the book literally just said that over and over again. I do not like Hemingway's writing. It worked okay for The Old Man and the Sea. For this, it was very boring and it dragged on and on. I will say he did a very good job of portraying the time period and the characters. I have mixed feelings about the main character because his emotions aren't very well expressed in this book because that's not how Hemingway writes. I also don't think a lot of the characters had as much depth to them as they should have, or realistically would have. They were kind of caricatures. I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about this book. I think it gets better in hindsight. I think I gave it a 4 in the end, but like I really want to give it a 3. I really just am not a big fan. The next book I read is something quite easy, but something quite wonderful. And it is the first in the series of Unfortunate Events, which is The Bad Beginning. The series, as we all know, is by Lemony Snicket. It is quite a series of unfortunate events. It is literally just about these children who have terrible lives. We're intrigued by their terrible lives because humans are terrible and we are intrigued by such things. It's so good. I love his writing. It's intriguing as an adult. They're making a next Netflix series in 2015 for it, and so I thought, hey, I will reread them. So I've only read the first one. I plan to read them slowly over the next year. I'm really excited. And the art, I love the art in this book. I mean, it's freaking beautiful. Look at that art. It's so nice. It's so pretty. The next book I read was also quite easy, but heck, you have to do it. It was Tales of Beedle Bard by J.K. Rowling. It's a culmination of children's tales for the wizarding world, and I got this really fancy book set from this like cool bookstore in Oxford called Blackwell, and it's this amazingly huge bookstore. Like underneath the in the basement there are like beautiful first editions. Beautiful. Anyway, so I got this there, and I'd read the other two, Footage Throughout the Ages and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, because my friend had the set of two of those, and so I finally got to read these, and they were so cute, and I relished reading all of them, even the one I already knew. Of course, that's our favorite, which is The Tale of the Three Brothers. I quite liked the other ones as well. I think my second favorite one was The Fountain of Fair Fortune. It's cute. It's cute. They're all cute. The next book I read is The Time It Takes to Fall by Margaret Lazarus Stein. It is a young adult nonfiction book about the Challenger explosion, pre that and post that, predominantly pre that. It relays the tale of a girl whose father works on the solid rocket boosters at NASA as a technician. It details like her parents' interactions. He loses his job, he gets it again, so it just details that whole period of time. And it is a true literature book and not a like fantasy book like several of the other ones I've shared, or fantasy or just fiction in general books like the other ones I've shared. So while there is a somewhat of a there's a storyline, there's more than The Sun Also Rises. There's more to it than that one. It's felt a little slow. I really like the ultimate lesson learned, but to tell you so would be the spoiler, as that is like the main point of the book. It is worth a read. I believe I gave it a 4.0 on Goodreads. It's not my favorite book ever, but I do like it. The next book that I read and actually just finished this morning is called The Walled City by Ryan Grodin. I want to say it like a French person because I think it's supposed to be pronounced Rodin, but like no one would recognize that. Ryan Grodin. Bleh. The French is so much prettier. Hook line is run fast, trust no one, always carry a knife. Those are the 3 rules that you follow in The Walled City. This book was one of the first books I had, like an actual real, not children's book, like even young adult book that I had read and enjoyed in a while. It was refreshing, the writing, it was like dystopian but also like realistic because it's based on an actual walled city. And the writing, okay, I will say the writing from time to time is not the best. She runs wild with metaphors and similes and stuff like that, and that's fabulous. I'd rather have too much imagery than no imagery. Because of her imagery, I now can envision the city like probably no other city in any book ever. She details the freaking chip bag on the end of the alleyway. But it gets a little old. But what gets a little more old than that is that she keeps like, it's all first person, but it's from 3 different characters, and she keeps kind of repeating the same thing in the different characters, which I understand the struggle there because I've struggled with that in my first book. Especially when they're thrown into similar situations, it's really hard not to just like keep thinking over and over the same things. You want to make things very clear to the reader, but readers are smarter than you think, so they can figure a lot of this out, and they can actually remember things from 2 chapters ago. It's fine. It's totally fine. Rant over. Actually a really good book. I kind of cried at the end, like, it was actually quite good. Like, I would suggest reading it. I haven't read, she also wrote Wolf by Wolf, but I haven't read it because, frankly, the idea of the Axis powers winning and then someone killing Hitler through a motorcycle race just seemed like trying a little too hard for me. Maybe I'll read it one day, maybe, but it'll be a while from now. The next book I am currently reading and started today is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, because who doesn't want to be a child again? I realize I'm reading a lot of childish books lately, but I'm revisiting. It's been a long time. I've been doing apps and everything, so I just want something nice and happy-ish, although, you know, series of unfortunate events. Meh, not happy. I really just want something nice and easy to read. There's a lot of controversy over the Narnia movies, I am aware, but I like them. I do. I am aware of them as separate entities from the book. However, I don't remember the book very well, so I thought I'd go back and read it because I'm really curious about the differences. So I will, I guess, probably maybe sort of report back later. Note keeping, what is it? There is this fancy word that people use to talk about, you know, where they are and like getting things done. Anyway, I had posted some Let's Plays, and then I played through the entire game, and my computer freaked out, and I just don't think it can handle Let's Plays, so I'm actually just gonna not do any anymore. Which kind of makes me really sad, because I really like them. But, combination of bad equipment with lack of time now, nah. Which brings me to my next order of business. I don't really have a lot of time to be vlogging at the moment, hence the large gap. I will vlog, but I will probably only vlog once a week or once every other week. It's not going to be as much as normal, but I will keep vlogging, for sure. Eventually I would like to vlog more, but in the meantime I will do what I can. That is it for now though. I will talk to you all later. Cheers!